Hello everyone and welcome back to the UK Games Expo live stream here at ontabletop.com. I am joined by Andy from DMB Games.
Hello, how you doing?
Thanks for joining us, mate.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me.
And you have brought some awesome stuff. But before we can get to that, we've got to talk about the Geek and Sun table. Now, Geek and Sun are raffling off this table. You can find the link to that in the description down below. Just go down and buy yourself a raffle ticket and answer this very simple question. So, Andy, do you think you'd like to win this table?
I would absolutely love to have this table in my games room.
Yeah, it's a beautiful table.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, all you have to do is buy that raffle ticket and answer this question, okay? It's a bit of a puzzler. Who is using the Geek and Sun branded table at UK Games Expo 2018? Is it A, Beasts of War, B, Beastie Boys, or C, Beauty and the Beast? Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Yeah.
I think I know.
You think you know?
I think I've got that one, yeah.
Yeah, save that for when you get home and can enter the raffle.
Keep that one locked up there.
Yeah, very good. So, Andy, first, can you tell us a bit about DMB Games?
Yeah, DMB Games is it's a 3D terrain company. We modular dungeon tiles, and we're actually just at the moment about to branch out into.
Ooh.
That's all quite exciting. We've been play testing and prototype.
You've got some awesome stuff with you on the table. If we just take a quick glimpse there, you can see a little bit of sci-fi and some more fantasy over here. And we'll be looking at those more later, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
But first of all, here we have the dungeon tiles themselves, if you'd like to hand me a piece there.
Yeah, sure.
So, what can you tell me about these?
So we hand make, hand finish, hand paint everything, and the masters are made from the Hearst Arts molds, which we have a license with to tiles in which manner we want. Anyone who knows anything about the Hearst Arts molds know that they come in all individual pieces. All the 1-inch blocks are all. So we break the masters, stick them all together, and then send them off to our caster to get them turned into resin. When we first started about 4 years ago, we were using resin-infused plaster, and Christmas I turned the corset, excuse me, the corset, which is the pieces that you're handling right now, the painted pieces, into resin just to see how the product would be, and then a couple of months ago we ran a Kickstarter to turn the rest of the range into which went
They are very beautiful pieces.
Thank you. I hand paint everything.
Excellent. Yeah. You do a good job with these.
Thank you.
I'm just looking at all the little cracks in the stonework and everything. Yeah. You've got a good selection of tiles here.
Yeah, so the core set is 65 pieces, floors, walls, and doors and archways. So you get a crossroads piece, T-junctions, L corners, 2x2s, 1x2, upstairs, downstairs, and little spacers to help you find when you do walls. And then you get walls from 4.5 inch long all the way down to 1 inch long. Customize it out and do.
Excellent. There are a few unpainted things here. Right. Is there any you want to start off with?
Any of them really. I mean, these are really nice. These decorative wall pieces. We've never had anything like this before.
Yeah.
So as part of the Kickstarter, we not only transferred everything we already had, but then I got to make. So these decorative walls are designed to help you set up a bit quicker. So the idea of those pillars is that when you put it against the floor tile,
well, let's take a look here.
The pillars sit on top of the floor.
Oh yes, they
sit
very nicely.
Nice and quick and easy to set rooms with pillars around the outside. You're not fiddling with little pieces. And then we've got some that are have the flames, the little torch flames on them, and then the other one that we have here has a slot in it, an alcove slot in it, that allows you to. We do a wall accessory set with pillars and flames and fountains, and they all slot nicely into that little groove. So you can customize the walls and they will actually sit without you gluing them. So
really?
You can sort of customize them and change them out for each different room that you want to use. And
just even there, we've got a nice little dramatic room to go through there.
That's a standard wall.
And then just a wall to finish it off.
Goes up like that, so you can.
That's perfect.
It all off.
It's a very nice little setup.
Thank you.
Yeah. And will all this be painted?
Yeah, we primarily sell them painted, finished, and they come felted on the bottom as well, so that you have them on your table without damaging a lovely tabletop like this. But we do them unpainted as well, for those of you who like to paint your own stuff and add all sorts of effects to them, all that sort of stuff. But we do, I think it's 6 different colour schemes anyway.
Yeah.
So browns, we do an asylum, which is sort of a brown and beige checked pattern like floor tiles.
I see.
We do browns, we do 2 different greys. This is the gothic grey that we've got here.
Yeah, if we'll take that again, yeah.
And then we do an old school dungeon grey, which is much more yellow. So it looks a bit more like the old D&D maps.
Oh,
so you can
yeah.
sort of lay those out. And then we do a jade, which is a light and dark green checked pattern. Cavern brown, a sandstone, an ice one as well. So that's actually, we do them either as ice or as frosted tiles. We like frost and snow on them. So
that's excellent.
Lots of how we can do them. So, and yeah, I do it all. So.
Yeah, pretty much everything you need to create a good atmospheric dungeon environment.
Absolutely, yeah. And we've got wooden floor tiles.
Yeah.
And
let's take a few of them and take a look at them. We got here.
There's 3 different patterns. There's a square, a diamond, and flat planks.
They are nicely detailed. I like the raised up effect you've got here of the stone and the.
When I first made them sort of 4 years ago, I just had the same tiles at the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
But as I expanded the range, so we've got a field stone, which is like a cobblestone type, which you can see on the board that we'll look at in a minute.
Yeah.
And we've got a cavern set as well. So when I put them together, they looked odd with just the same stone all the way through it. So I remade all the masters, so all the sets have that dirt line across the bottom, so when you push them together, they look like they're sitting on the same piece of ground. No matter what the top layer is, the bottom layer looks solid and continuous, and it just helps put everything all together. So
that's a great idea. There's one more bit of floor, well, actually 2 more I wanted to take a look at. First of all, this little thing.
Yeah, when we sell those, they will have the water effect resin in them, and they'll be tinted so they're like a murky pool, and we'll have things like skulls or treasure chests or things like that. And the other one that you've got in your hand there, the square one, is a pit trap tile.
Oh.
So that's the metal plate floor, like a trapdoor closure.
Yeah.
But the other one that you had in your hand, this.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Is a pit trap tile.
Oh, I see.
And
I see.
A base of a figure will actually, a 28mm figure will fit inside the hole, so you can tell who's in the hole and who's not.
Well, we have a couple of these. I'll just borrow them to put in the trap.
So you see it fits in, so you know who's in the trap and who's not. Just helps to keep it close.
Poor colonial marine.
And because it's all modular, if you were to set up a room, you could just swap that tile out and pop the pit trap in. So as a GM, you can reveal things as you go along by just swapping tiles in and out of the display, as it were.
Now I've had the privilege of playing on across some proper tile layout dungeons before. It really does help to add to the atmosphere. Of
absolutely, absolutely it does. And people use it for all sorts of things that I hadn't originally thought about.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of people that buy it for Frostgrave, for replacing tiles in their board games. So I have a lot of people that buy it to replace the cards in Mantic's Dungeon Saga, so they can have a 3D dungeon for that. All sorts of things, Hero Quest, Warhammer Quest, all the old school dungeon crawl classics. But yeah, and also they use them for role playing and all that sort of stuff. So.
I take it you use these yourself. You're a bit of a dungeon delver.
I am. It's my actually I don't use them myself because I realised the other day I don't actually own any.
Oh really?
Because I spend my time making them and painting them for other people, it never actually occurred to me to have a set for myself. So yeah, I will be correcting that quite quickly. But
definitely,
they're really quite popular. So by the time I finish doing a set, it goes out to someone. So I never really have them around to use myself. But Unfortunately not.
Well, can you quickly tell us a bit about these 2 tables we have here, because they look lovely.
Thank you very much. So
we have this sci-fi one.
These are our teaser boards for our 2 new ranges that are coming out. The sci-fi we're hoping to have out ready for a Kickstarter at the end of the year, so it'll be ready for Salute next year. and it will be, unlike our dungeon tiles, which are corridor shapes, the sci-fi tiles will all be 3x3s, so you can lay out a nice big area quickly, and the walls sit on top, so you can create rooms on top of the flat plane that you put out, and it has all the nice curved walls, so you can make turbo lifts and
here they are,
teleportation chambers and all stuff like that.
Oh yes, if we actually, let's see if we can get this under the close cam better. Just here, there's our predator.
We've got a predator in there. Those models are from AVP by Prodos, so painted by.
He's teleported out of there.
Painted by Jason from Painting Nights. Better painter than I am for figures. But yeah, so the idea is to be able to set up anything that you might want, from Star Wars starships to AVP to 40k or any of those sort of games that you may want. And we've got 9 different floor styles that obviously make up various patterns within them, and there are 5 different wall styles, and then plus the curved walls and different doors and stuff like that, and then all the accessories that you can see on there as well. So
there are lots of cool things happening here. I'm trying to get it round to one thing, but I love this the hatch door.
Yeah. So our display boards are always stuck down for ease of transport, and so they don't get knocked over. But it is, all of the sets that we do will be fully modular, so you'll be able to reuse the walls and place them wherever you want to, and do whatever it is that you do with them.
Perfect. So what about this other one?
So the other one we've got is our wilderness board. So it's rock, it's dirt, it's grass, it's ruined buildings, it's all the stuff above the dungeon that you need to get to where you want to be.
Just bring that in here.
So all these tiles that you can see, the rocks, they will be available with flock, without flock, different styles of flock, different colours, all that sort of stuff. And again, it will be based on 3x3 tiles, as the idea is to lay out the floor and then put the stuff on top of it, whereas with the dungeons you're making specific rooms, so it's a bit more versatile if it's all
I like
modular.
These ruins these ruined bits,
come off. They're not
so they do.
So you can lift the top of that house off to see what's underneath.
Let's just take a look.
So those two pieces are actually separate as well.
Let's just take a look here. Oh, yeah. So are you going to expand it like this with?
Yeah. So this was just so we could show off our ideas for the expo and get some feedback, and then work out what we need to do to actually get it to a stage that we can sell it. People want to buy it.
Yeah. I especially like these outdoor sections, because that's something you don't really see that often in tile terrain sets.
That's right, and it's such an important part of when you're role playing. There's always an outdoor map. You're always going somewhere. There's always the road troubles and all that sort of stuff. And then rather than doing large trees, you can see the little trunks on there that just give the impression of where the trees are. So you can still do your line of sight and your cover without it getting in the way. And we'll have small rock, like boulder piles and stuff like that spot on.
That's a good touch. Now, of course, the terrain isn't the only thing you're here for.
No.
You've also got the prototype for your board game.
Yes. So the board game we've been working on for a couple of years now, Roseburn Manor.
Here it is.
So yeah, there's my little prototype kit.
So what's it called?
Roseburn Manor.
Ah, yeah, here it is in your nice dedicated satchel.
That's right. It's got all my dice in it, so we'll get those out in a second. But there
you are, Roseburn Manor. So what can you tell me about this game?
So Roseburn is it's a dungeon delving game.
Of course.
That you can use our tiles with, but it's actually been designed so you can use any form of terrain and any figures with it. So when we launch it, we won't actually be including any tiles or figures with it. So you can use anything you want to with it. I mean, obviously, if you have dungeon tiles with it, you can. But if you already own tiles or games that have that sort of thing in it, then you can use those as well.
Nice bit of versatility to it.
Absolutely, but it also means that I can put more into the game as far as story and sort of cards and tokens and those sort of quick expansions to help build the game up as well, rather than having to invest lots of money in reinventing things that are already out there. So,
what is the background?
So the background is Lord Claudius bought an area of land and had a big manor built on it. It's on top of a hill, and as he did, the families of the artisans built a town around the bottom of the hill, so they didn't have to travel too far. It took around about 50 years to build it, so it's a massive edifice on top of this hill.
Yeah.
When it was finished, Claudius invited everybody that was involved in building it and all the local dignitaries up there for a big party, and they all disappeared.
Dun dun dun!
Exactly. And then, so no one from the village would go near the place because it was cursed, until a few years later, a youngish man came riding through town. His hair was all shock white, and he was babbling about monsters underneath the manor.
Yeah.
He had a big ruby that he sold very quickly to get away, so he didn't have to go back to the manor again. So that's piqued the interest of some adventurers, and they want to know what's going on. Some of them are there to try and help the villagers, like the cleric, and some of them, like the dwarf, are there just...
Yeah. Adventurers never hear the bit about monsters or fleeing for your life. They hear big ruby.
That's right, it's money, that's what they're after.
How does it play?
It plays... You've got, during the turn, it's split into two phases. You've got the hero's action phase, and then you've got the Claudius phase. So there's a GM or overlord player who plays Claudius, who basically just messes with the heroes as they go through trying to complete the quests. The base game is going to come with 30 quests, but you only use 10 to play a campaign. You've got 3 campaigns you can play through, and it's a very narrative quest, edging more towards an RPG scenario than a full-blown sort of tactical board game, but each character has a deck of power cards that they can use to do various things and skills, and stop Claudius from doing what he's up to. But to learn the full story of what happened that night and whatever Claudius is up to, you have to play through all 30 quests. Each quest gives you more information and gives you more of the background, which we've written a big document there that's got all the different areas, and
we can take a quick look here. So if there's the background document. So there's plenty of story here to get digging. Oh, a map. I like to see maps.
Yep.
So, just an initial layout there.
Yep, of the manor, the town, the surrounding area.
Yeah, there's plenty of background info for people like me, fluffhounds, to dig into. And I love my background.
Excellent. And all of that is what powers all of the quests in there, so all the information comes out of there for that. And some of the quests are helping the townsfolk. So, for example, the blacksmith, his great-grandfather worked on the manor. If you do his quest and find his family heirloom, their hammer, you're going to get access to better equipment that he can make you, so it then changes the game slightly that way. There's a whole XP mechanic where you can build up your characters. Claudius gets the same thing. He gets experience and can specialise his deck and all that sort of thing.
So you said deck there. Are there cards?
Yeah, there are cards. So each character gets a class deck. So these ones here.
Let's take a look at these.
Our prototypes.
Here we are. So we have Holy here.
So there are four classes: Martial, Holy, Scoundrel, and Arcanist.
Yeah. And
then you have professions, so things like Fighter, Berserker, Cleric, that sort of thing are your professions. So the Berserker and the Fighter are both martial characters, they use the martial deck, and then you have their own skill cards that you add into it afterwards.
Faith is my shield. I like this.
So, and then Claudius has a deck as well, which is very similar. Which...
Let's see what Claudius is up to. So, here's Claudius's deck. Your power grows.
So all of Claudius's cards are powered by rose tokens.
Yeah.
And that particular card gives him extra rose tokens, and you get them for the amount of players that are playing. So the numbers on the cards there that you see, that's how many...
Spawn up to 3 monsters. And...
So Poison Dart Trap and those numbers in the...
Oh, yes.
That's how many rose tokens it costs to use the card. But you have to sort of, as the Claudius player, you have to sort of keep them and, hoard them until you're using the right card at the right time, so there's a bit of tactics there. And the actual hero cards are powered by power points, which work exactly the same way, but the heroes have power points, not rose tokens.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then the map is done by a random map card.
Random map? Let's take a look at that.
Some of the quests will have fixed maps, but most of them are done by random map cards so that you can lay out.
They would be these ones here.
Yep.
And Claudius has some control over the dungeon.
He does have some control over the dungeon, and the dungeon actually has some help for him as well. So see how that's got a rose token symbol on it?
Yes.
If you find that room, then Claudius gets more power because he's pushing you where he wants you to go. And then you just make them up from obviously the various tiles that you have around. And there are specialist rooms, things like libraries, vault rooms, that sort of stuff, that all have their own effects when you get them in.
Excellent.
In the game.
Yeah. Now, what are you planning to do with this game? Are you going to bring this to Kickstarter as well?
Most likely. Although I haven't 100% decided yet. It depends upon obviously the costings and then how we're going to release it. I had a discussion about perhaps releasing a free version first on PDF to get a wider feedback. The feedback we've had this weekend has been brilliant on it. Everyone who's played it has liked it, which is nice.
That's always good to hear.
Which is good. So I haven't quite decided which route I'm going to go down for that yet.
Yeah.
But yes, it will be coming soon. Whichever way I decide to do it, it will be coming soon.
I always like to see it when companies do put out a free version of it like that, without all the nice components initially, because that's where you get the real experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
But having something that lets you feed back into it is a great move, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I've always been a great believer in community when gaming, and and sort of getting feedback and getting other people to share in what you're passionate about. It's pretty much what it's all about for me. So.
Excellent. Well, Andy, thank you very much for coming on the screen.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, if you want to find out more about DMB games, be sure to head over to their website. Check out their awesome dungeon tiles. They really are cool. I would love to play a game across this.
Well, I'm sure we can arrange something at some point.
Oh, wonderful.
Not a problem.
Oh, that would be great to get a video of. Right. If you want to see more of the UK Games Expo, be sure to head over to our live blog, where we'll be continuing to report on the event as it happens. And remember, get down below, follow the link to the Geek and Sun raffle, and answer that very difficult question. We will get on here, and we'll see you in the next one.